Mitch McConnell, the most powerful Republican senator, plans to serve out the rest of his congressional term.
Of course, a lot of people were watching Senator McConnell on Thursday. He returned to work after that concerning moment of Wednesday when the 81-year-old froze for seemingly about 20 seconds during a news conference.
We're on a path to finishing the NDA this week. It's been good bipartisan cooperation and a string of
He was eventually escorted away by some of his fellow Republican senators and then brushed off any health concerns. He was able to return to the Senate later, saying he was fine. Our 9 health expert, Dr. Payal Kohli, joins us now. I think all of us were shocked to see that and tried to figure out how would we have reacted if someone we loved or someone we knew suddenly was going through that. What was your thought?
You know, as a physician, I started going through all the possibilities of what it could be. So could there be something going on with the cardiovascular system? Blood's not getting to his brain, so he's not perfusing. It's all pooling in his legs. Maybe his blood pressure is low. Maybe he's lightheaded. Maybe he's dizzy. Could there be something neurological? Could this be a stroke or a mini stroke or pre-stroke, as we like to call TIAs? Or a seizure, perhaps a condition called absence seizure, where you just sort of stop talking mid-sentence.
And a real person, I mean, that's a 911 call, isn't it? I mean, if you're not in front of cameras and if there is not, you know, the Senate going on around you, that's a 911 call, isn't it?
I would say even in front of the cameras, Tom, that's a 911 call. And I was frankly surprised that he wasn't rushed off, especially given his age, because age is the biggest risk factor for conditions like stroke, that he wasn't rushed off and got an MRI scan right away or some other workup to try to figure out exactly what happened.
It's hard to watch, I think, for a lot of people to see that and worry about this at the same time. From a doctor's point of view, what would you right away be looking for?
So, you know, I would want to get a set of blood work to try to see if his kidney function's normal, he has any signs of dehydration, his ammonia levels might be elevated, carbon dioxide. But more importantly, I would get imaging of the brain, because that's how we know if something is a stroke or if something is something else. And if it is a stroke, even if it was a tiny stroke, it could potentially impact his management quite significantly.
And I get that he's 81, but we know so many people at a young age that have had strokes in their 30s.
That's right.
So, I mean, you always talk about time. It's all of the essence.
In fact, the acronym is FAST, you know, facial drooping, arm weakness, speech difficulties, which this was a type of a speech difficulty, and T for time. Because time is brain. Time can change the prognosis completely. And it is a stroke unless proven otherwise when you have some sort of a neurological deficit de novo out of nowhere.
We talk about this all the time. When people suffer publicly from something, when they come forward with it, it increases awareness.
Yes.
and creates opportunities for others to not necessarily go through it. In this case, by moving past it, acting like it's no big deal, which may serve, you know, a political purpose or, you know, whatever the reason is, are they doing a disservice to the concept of others who may have that same sort of symptom?
You know, as a physician, I do hope that he does come forth with what his workup is, what it turns out to be, because regardless of what it is, we can learn something. Someone else that finds themselves in this type of a situation one day, whether it's dehydration or stroke or seizure or what have you, might know how to do something a little differently based on what his diagnosis ends up being. So I'm hopeful that his doctors are working him up, looking at all the conditions that it could possibly be, and really will share that information with us so that we can learn from it.
We shall see what comes of that. Well, thanks for bringing us some light on it. Thanks, Dr. Payal Kohli. We'll be right back.